Hello everyone, this is Archive12, and today we have a new Colm McGuinness song. This is the Warhammer 40K song, The Undying, about the Necrons, which, I'm going to be honest, I've been waiting for this. I've been waiting for Colm to be able to cover the Necrons, and we finally got that. This is going to be intense, I expect. So far, most of the enemy faction songs for Warhammer 40K that Colm has managed to cover have been pretty freaking intense. They've all had their like moments of epicness or fun in the case of the orcs. So I expect this to be a little bit more edgy, a little bit more unsettling, because I mean it's the Necrons. They're zombie skeleton hybrid things, I believe, that steal people's souls in order to power more Necrons. And I could be completely wrong about that. That's how it's been described to me. So if I'm wrong about it, I apologize. I'm still learning about Warhammer 40K, so I'm going off of what people have told me. But regardless, I am excited for this song. Link will be in the description below if you want to watch it without my commentary, because I will be pausing. I will be talking about it. Also down below is a link to my Patreon. We'll find longer form reaction videos of various anime and TV shows. And without further ado, let's get started. Also, as always, if you guys can tell me where these cinematic cutscenes are coming from, please let me know. I am compiling a list of various Warhammer 40K content that is not music related to watch, so that way I can, experience some of these stories firsthand. I know that at least one of these things is a show, if I've been told correctly. Some of them might be fan projects. Many of them are cutscenes from video games, and I don't have all the time in the world to be able to play all these video games. So being able to experience at the very least the cutscenes and react to those would be really cool. So if you guys can let me know in the comments where these scenes are from, I'll be putting them to the list, and eventually I will be getting to them.
Beneath the toxic sun radiant sky, cursed to the green may fail and weak by design. Defenseless, unshielded, under a silent king, we're unyielding. We reach for power beyond our fleeting breath. No fragile chance to cheat the grasp of death. Redemption, salvation, gift from the sagas our liberation.
Okay. The fact that this is a droning, continuous march, like this feels like this is an anthem of a wave of death and destruction. Like the Necrons, to me, the Necrons have always been an interesting faction. They remind me, and I know this isn't 100% accurate, but they remind me of the Borg, specifically in their continuous march towards like their end goals. Now, I know that the end goal for the Borg is complete assimilation across the entire galaxy. Fully understand that. It's different from the Necrons, but the way the Necrons can oftentimes be portrayed remind me a lot of the Borg, because they are just as relentless. They are just as numerous in when they come into engagements. They tend to be unstoppable and alien enough that like humans don't fully understand them. I was watching a TikTok video recently about like one of the Necron weapons, which like essentially atomizes you molecule by molecule, and if you're unlucky enough not to be hit in the face with it, then you feel yourself literally be deconstructed. And when humans got their hands on them, they couldn't figure out how they worked, and sometimes they would even blow up or go off by accident and demolecularize one of the people. So like it's they feel so foreign and so technologically advanced and at times utterly unstoppable. So that's that, and the fact that they're machines that have a green aesthetic to them. Oftentimes, in my mind, I relate them a lot to the Borg. Their methodology and their goals obviously are completely different, but at the end of the day, like they have the same type of dread focused on them. I know the Borg in recent years have kind of become more of just like a joke than like the eternal boogeyman that they were originally entered as in Star Trek, but like they still have that same sort of um like aura about them that like if they show up, things could go south real quick. And the Necron always feel that way to me because when the Necrons show up, whether it's on a tomb world or whatever, things can go south real quick once they start waking up because you're just being accosted by a sea of robots that want nothing more than to just annihilate you, to eliminate you from the picture. So I feel like this is a fitting song tribute to them because they just march on relentlessly, and the sound of this song marches on relentlessly. There is no break, there is no pause, there is nothing that stops this. And I feel like that's a good way of portraying how the Necron horde tends to operate.
Memories cannot find. Just fractured particles ghosting our minds. Where there was beating sits a home in our chests.
Hold on.
In undying, unending life without rest.
Okay, hold on a second. I'm rewinding that. I was not prepared for that. Everything about this fit what I kind of expected to a certain degree from Colm. If for like a Warhammer 40K song, it fit the general vibe of like being an ominous threat, like as a song. But then that kicked in, like the orchestral vibes were eliminated, and a grungy, deep, like visceral guitar and bass and drum just started kicking me in the teeth. I was not expecting that.
Reach for faces memories cannot find. Just fractured parts.
And the synth going on in the background, that deep, like synthetic sound going on in the background, only adds to that. This is much more personalized than most of the other like faction songs that Colm has created. And similar to Jonathan Young, I think this might be my favorite. Jonathan's Necron song is my favorite of the enemy factions of Warhammer 40K. And I think this might be the same for Colm. This vibe, this switch up is insane.
Circles of ghost in our minds. Where there was beating sits a home in our chests. In undying, unending life without rest. Onto the star gods burdened by their design. Just empty shells marching, erased and confined. Awake the tomb to reclaim what was lost. Take back our empire, now what worth the cost. Do we
Hold on. Hold your freaking horses. I've been listening to a lot of like up and coming bands, a lot of smaller bands. This reminds me of one of them. I'm trying to remember which one in particular that I've been listening to a lot. But like this, that second half, no, 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 no. That second half of that song, I can't put my name on it. I've been listening to so many, like my playlist on Spotify is like 8,000 songs, 8,500 songs large. So like the idea that I can potentially find the band that I'm talking about is minuscule in the time frame that I have in this video. But this sounds so freaking familiar. Like, what is the vibe? Do you guys tell me, what is the vibe you're getting from this? Like, what band does this sound like to you? Because there are a couple, but there's one in particular, and it's a smaller band, but I'm having a hell of a time remembering what their name is. But that was insane. The switch up from like going from that very personal, straight in the microphone, deep, dark, guttural, like performance to pulling back with the orchestral vibes, but still having that grungy aesthetic in the instrumental, and then going into the scream. This is perfection. Like, of all of the songs that he has crafted for Warhammer 40K, this is the top. There is no denying it for me. This is peak. This is up there as like the best song that he has created. Yeah, no, that is his best Warhammer 40K song, and it's not even close. Oh my god. Oh my god. That was insane. That was incredible. I loved every second of that. I just wish for the life of me I could remember what band I'm thinking of when I heard that second half. But that was, oh, I'm gonna have fun putting that on the background and like doing stuff with it. I'm gonna have fun like listening to that while I'm cleaning or walking to work or whatever. That's gonna be my new vibe for like the next month and a half. Divide Music was my most listened to artist last year, and Say Goodbye, his second Vegeta song, was my most listened to song. The second year in a row. This might be my 2026 Spotify Wrapped most listened to song, and I can guarantee you I will be listening to this a lot over the next year plus. This was hands down my personal favorite of the songs that I've heard Colm make. This is my personal favorite. This is a genre that I thoroughly enjoy. This is a genre that I feel like does not get repped in nerdcore enough. This dark metal, this dark rock. I'm shook. I love it. But anyway, that's going to be it for me. Thank you for joining me. I am Arkoff12, and I will see you in the next video.